Hello everybody, hope we're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel for a great freaking debate from not just one esports owner. I'm going to have a follow-up video on this because OpTic Hecz is not the first person to make a very bold statement. On his most recent Eavesdrop podcast with the one and only Miles Ross, make sure to go check it out. A lovely freaking intelligent, informative episode. But one thing in particular that OpTic Hecz did say certainly caught my ears and probably going to have a lot of comments out there. Very, very polarizing subject here as we compare sports franchises to esports franchises, as OpTic Hecz himself goes on to say he thinks one day the OpTic Gaming brand and team will be worth more than the Dallas Cowboys. Certainly a very bold statement. As far as I'm aware, when it comes to profitable NFL franchises, he chose the tippity top, let alone American sports franchises. Dallas Cowboys is kind of the face of, hey, we are worth and make a lot of money. So a bold claim from the Texas man himself. That being Hecz, as he says this for all of y'all to hear.
Saying is that everything that we're developing now matters, but it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And it is something that I tell players like all the time. While you are here, you better grab all of the money that's available for you to grab, because the $3 million contract, the 1960. So the $3 million contract, the $4 million, $5 million contract, the $3 million sponsorship on top of your contract, that will come. Yeah. But unfortunately, it will not come for you because you're building this thing. We're building this thing for other people to benefit from. Yeah. Right.
We have been building this thing for so long.
So long.
Our entire lives.
Yeah. Man. But if you think about it, have we been doing it for 100 years?
Oh, no.
No, we're in
doing
year.
Right.
I think that this is the first.
We're doing good.
Yeah, we're doing good. I think that this is the first decade that we've been able to do it. And, you know, granted, the NFL didn't have the internet, which is easily accessible by everyone to be able to grow as rapidly as we have. But that gives us opportunity. That gives us the ability to truly make this thing our own. So are we going to be bigger and quicker than the Cowboys? 1,000%. Yeah, I see. 1,000%. I don't see OpTic not being more valuable than the Cowboys. It just doesn't make sense that it wouldn't be, right? More eyeballs. I mean, as soon as all the old ad execs pass away or move on, and I don't say pass away, but it's die, but pass on to to their retirement life, and the hungry young ad execs that understand the fucking internet we are addicts. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, all right, I'm not a fact man. I don't know what the future might hold. It could come tomorrow and all of a sudden the world is like, you know what? We want to move everything online. And there's this weird thing called gaming, and the whole world at the flip of a switch might be, you know what? Yeah, frick sports. Esports are the future. But more than likely, sports are going to be around for a long friggin' time, and I'm okay with that. Hecz is not the only owner out there to believe this is a possibility, and that's why I want him to be the owner of OpTic, because if you're an esports owner and you don't believe this is possible, then what the heck are you doing owning an esports team? I love that kind of what some people might see as a crazy aspiration. I do think it's possible. Do I think it's going to happen in the next 10 years? No. Do I think it could happen, a couple decades or a century from now? Heck yeah, it might be the future. Because it's like, what are the Dallas Cowboys worth? I type into Google, it says $6.5 billion frickin' dollars. Yeah, Hecz chose a cream of the crop team to compare himself to, but hey, who knows? Last time I checked the esports, the Forbes valuation list, I don't think we have one for 2021 yet. We do have one for 2020 before the merger and the acquisition of OpTic by Envy, but they weren't on the top 10 esports teams. That was also during a very hairy time for OpTic, as we are all well aware. Do I think that brand is worth $6.5 billion? No, it might be worth 100 if you combine Envy and OpTic. You look at the last top 10 list out there, all top 10 esports organizations were worth at least 150 million, and those are just valuations, right? Apparently FaZe is worth $1 billion. I don't know if I believe that. They're certainly worth a lot, but $1 billion, that might be a stretch. But certainly that gap might be closing. But it's a hard thing to look at because, sports franchises, because of betting and the amount of profitability around the sports franchise scene in the last 20 years, it's also a very hard industry to catch. You look at the Dallas Cowboys, I saw a graph out there that I hope might be somewhat accurate. Back in 2002, the Cowboys were worth just shy of $800 million. 20 years is the gap they went from $800 million to $6.5 billion. So certainly esports is growing fast, but are we growing that fast? But then again, you think a decade, 2 decades from now, there might be that generational switch where all of a sudden esports going like this and sports is going like this. And eventually, esports going like this, sports going like this. Eventually, they might freaking cross, and esports might be the freaking future. Listen, is it a ballsy statement to make? Yes. Certainly people will call him crazy. Certainly people will disagree, but I do enjoy the fact that I have to be a believer. I love what I do. I love the game and esports scene. Do I think it's going to be the future way 100 years from now in the future? Yes, I do. I do think that one day esports franchises will be worth more than sports franchises, but it's going to take a heck of a long time, and I probably won't be alive to see it, but I hope one day I am, and we can come back to this video. And you know what we're going to be doing when we're looking back that far back? We'll be like, wow, Jake, your setup still sucks. It's only 1080p. Like we're now sitting at like 25,000p here in the future. This video sucks. So anyway, what do you guys think? OpTic Hecz thinks one day OpTic will be worth more than the Cowboys. Leave a comment down below. All right, grab the water, grab the coffee, chug it. Okay, bye.